You're doing amazing. I shared on my community tab about this game I discovered. What is it called? What is it called? Some Tekken spin-off. Death by Degrees. What a sick name for a game. Death by Degrees. It's a Nina Williams spin-off. She's a character you can play as in Tekken. When was she introduced? Tekken 3 maybe? Tekken 4? I can't remember when she got introduced into the series. Has she been there from the beginning? I don't know. Regardless. She got her own game. I didn't know that. I never saw this when I was young. I was genuinely shocked. Do you know how many PS2 games just went under the radar? Bro, like, I'm learning about PS2 games. I'm like, they made that? That's crazy. And sometimes it's just the concept of the game that might be interesting. It might not be from some popular franchise. It might not be a spin-off of some popular franchise. It's sometimes just a standalone game made by some small team that you've never heard of. You've never heard of the game. You've never heard of the character. But the concept is so interesting, and the game itself is very good. But it just never took off for whatever reason. There are a lot of games like that. It's kind of sad when you think about how some of them were not digitized. So unless you own the physical copy, you'll never play it. You know, maybe you can find it on some website where you can download the pirated version or something, but most people will never see that. And it's just a hassle to find games that way. It's nice when things are just available on official markets, easily accessible. Everything is in one place and you don't have to worry about contracting viruses on the web. So there's a beauty in sometimes that some of these rare titles. There's a beauty in something being so rare that you're the only one that owns the copy. But also, you know, one of the benefits of the digital age is that things can be preserved basically forever. So we need a bit of both, I think. We need a bit of both. Yes. Oh yeah. I was asking myself a question in the bathroom. Like when it comes to arts and sensitivity and all this, and I was like, are artists inherently sensitive? Is every artist sensitive? I was just wondering about that. And I think the answer is, I think you have to be. Because if you think about an artist, part of an artist's job is to make you feel, right? You have to feel something. Art has to have emotion. You're really an emotion dealer when you're an artist. So how can you not be sensitive? I think artists are sensitive about their work as well. Very sensitive. So, but I think in general in life, I think artists just feel a lot. I think that's just a necessary part of what you do. Right? So I I think like true artists are like people who just everything just falling. What's going on? Oh, wait. That fell. This fell. Everything just fell. Back to regular programming. Now it's missing. Explode. I do think it's necessary to be little to feel. And you have to let it in, man. You have to let it in. I sometimes look for things to, because I think it's easy for me to get inspiration. I really don't need that much stimulation to be like, okay, I can make a song from that experience to that experience to that experience, or write about that, or whatever, you know? But you do find yourself looking for that inspiration, and it's so nice when you just find something. Well, it depends, because some people put themselves into crazy situations, like artists put themselves into crazy situations so they can have something to write about, and that's not always healthy. I always think like when I'm involved with a girl, I'm like, okay, this is like 5 songs at least that encounter. So it's always something that I'm like, I'm gonna get something out of this, even if it doesn't work out. At least there's music. That's guaranteed. You know, just a heads up for any girl I ever get involved with. 100,000% music will be made. I try not to name drop though. I name dropped once before, but I sent it to her. It wasn't a secret. I wasn't like talking about this other man. But other people we know might hear it. Other people we knew heard the songs and whatnot, but you know, I'm doing it in secret or anything. Why is this thing it just doesn't want to stay up? Stay there. Damn you. But yeah. Just be aware of that. Music will be made. I think any person who dates an artist just needs to, like, you need to be prepared for that. I don't think it's reasonable to ask an artist, like, whether you're with you'll be amused. You'll be the subject matter, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. You're going to be the constant subject of a lot of pieces, and it might not always be good. So, for example, if we're having a fight about something, and I want to vent, obviously, look, you have to be considerate and not put all your business out there. So maybe I won't do that. But you know, general things, I might express general frustration. Again, you have to be tactful. So it's never going to be a thing of like putting our business, our dirty laundry out in the public. But yeah, just know what you're signing up for when you're dating someone who really, really does that for real, for real. Dating, you're just with someone. Speaking of relationships, I'm watching that anime I told you all about, that office romance anime. I'm almost finished with it. It's like 9 episodes, I think. It's very short. I don't know if it's done, if it's just like, if it was like a short series, or if this is just one season. I don't know. Regardless, there's a side character arc going on where this lady, she's like the head of some department in the office, so she oversees a lot of things, and she's got this subordinate. He kind of works in another department, but he's still a subordinate. She's still ranked higher in the company than he is. He's 24, she's 32. And by circumstance, they end up getting to know each other. Like, she finds out that he goes to the same cafe that she goes to, or rather, he discovers it and finds out that she goes there as well. And, they start talking while they're there, and the more she talks to him, the more she likes him. And then she realizes that she's falling in love with him. She's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I can't have these feelings. I'm 32, he's 24, and I'm his senior at work, and she's just like, no. But they keep having encounters, keep meeting up and talking and whatnot, and now they're at the point where they've exchanged numbers. So I'm interested to see where that goes. Yeah, there's something kind of hot. I won't lie. I've talked to a couple of girls that are older than me, but I think maybe the biggest gap was like maybe 5 years, 4 or 5 years. So, like that I've been involved with 4 or 5 years. You don't really, I'll be honest, you don't really notice the gap. Well, actually, that's not true. The gap exists in like where they're at in life. So it's not necessarily like when you're talking to them, like, oh, she's older than me. She's like, I don't think age comes across that way, because it really is past a certain point. When you're adults, age really just does become a number for adults, because honestly, youth is in the mind. So I can talk to someone who's 40 something, and they might be wise, but also wisdom is not a given. That's one thing I've learned. You can be old and dumb and immature. So sometimes people correlate maturity and wisdom with age. That's not true. Someone can be 20 years old and a lot more mature, a lot wiser than people who are 50. And I've definitely seen that. But with these girls that I was involved with that were older, like maybe 4 or 5 years, they're ahead in career, they're earning more money. So you notice the gap in things like that. So sometimes some of the things they want to do, you're like, yeah, I don't know if I can do it. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm at that level yet. And also, like, they're closer to that age where it's like, hey, we need to get married. Like, that's an actual expectation they might have, because, they're further along in age. And they have less time to frolic and just hang out. So they're just, I think there are a few differences when someone is older than you that have to be considered, that aren't always considered, which is why I think it's not a simple matter dating someone that's significantly older than you, because you're in different phases of life. So you have to make those considerations. Can you make that work? Like I said, I do think there's something a bit hard about it. It's spicy, but yeah, you have to be practical as well. For me, as an example, I'm someone who wants a lot of children. That's definitely something I want for myself, and I need to find a woman who wants the same thing. She desires the same thing, and then we can agree and get busy at the appropriate time. But when a girl is significantly older than you, the biological clock might not allow for that. She might be able to give me 1 or 2. I've always said, like, minimum for me is like 5. I want a big family. 5 isn't even that much, to be honest. Some people out here having 10, 12, 14 children. How do you pump out 14 women? People like if you there should be an award, man. There should be some sort of reward for people who do that. You actually have 14 children, raise them well, and you did it. Like there should be an award for that. But unfortunately, our society values the wrong things. If that's genuinely an amazing achievement, but unfortunately, it's not celebrated. It's not seen that way by a lot of people. You know how hard that is to do. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. But someone talked about how when you have a lot of kids, because some people will see that number 14 children. That's insane. What people don't realize is that someone is explaining the structure of large families. At some point, the kids start taking care of each other. Like you think that the work increases, but it's actually an interesting thing happens where they're helping you run the household. So the older ones, the ones you had first, they start helping with a lot of tasks. They start helping with taking care of the younger siblings and all that sort of thing. A lot of the work gets distributed, so it's not as stifling or burdensome as you might think. It's still a lot of work, but it's very manageable if you structure your family properly and you equip your kids enough. Like they can actually end up helping you a lot. I just like the idea of a large family. Again, five children, it really isn't that much, especially in historical context. A lot of people like back in the desert, oh my god, they used to have kids, bro. So five in the modern era, we've become very flimsy. A lot of people don't even have kids at all. In this area, 5 kids might sound like a lot to people, but it really is not, especially by historical standards. 5 might be average. It's like, 5, well done. And also back then, like infant mortality rate was so high, so you lose one, you're like, you have to maybe try again to make up for the lost one. I don't know if that's how people actually thought. But regardless, yeah, I'm trying to have 5 at least. And part of it is influenced by, this might be childish, but part of it is influenced by, I used to watch this, one of my favorite shows is My Wife and Kids with Damon Wayans. And, he has 3, but I always loved the family dynamic. I always found that so fascinating and enjoyable to watch, and I just had this strong desire in my heart to have the same thing. It always just looked so beautiful at family, them sitting together, eating together, going on trips together. Like all those family dynamics, like the lessons that would be taught to the kids and all the hilarious situations and getting into. I was like, this looks so amazing. It looks so fun. And I really, really want that for myself. I just feel this intense desire for that. Also, it's easy to idealize these things. You're just seeing, you're watching a show. It's put together. But, people who have families will tell you the same thing. People who actually do this in real life, like, a lot of people who do it right, they tell you, like, this is the best decision you ever make, have a lot of kids. There's this one guy, who says, like, he has, like, 4 kids. He says, if I could have 20, I would have 20. But my wife, she gave him 4, and she's like, I'm done, bro. I can't give you more than this. And it's like, because it's a lot. I understand it's a lot. Some women, it's like an interesting thing happened though. Like after she gave birth to the 3rd one, the 3rd child, she was like, I'm done, bro. No, not again. But then something interesting happened where she told him after the 3rd one, I'm not giving you more than this because I just can't handle another one. And he was like, alright, okay, fine. And then after a while, she came to him just in tears, just crying. He's like, what's wrong? And she's like, I want to have another baby. She's like, she just wants to have another one. So that's how the 4th one was born. Like she wanted to have the 4th one. But yeah, after the 4th one, it seemed like that's when she was really done. I'm gonna have to find someone who's willing to give me 5. Like she's willing to do that. If something happens along the way and she can't produce number 5, if something happens, like there's a medical complication, she can't do it. That's understandable. But yeah, it's so important for me to find someone who just wants the same thing I want, which is a large family. So that it never has to be a debate and please, please, baby, please, oh please. And I don't want to beg. I don't want to beg. So I just need to find someone who's like on the same page. That's why it's so important to be open about these things and never hide anything. She might watch these videos. You never know. She might watch these videos and then she knows exactly what I want. There'll be no secrets. What is this? What is this thing I was using? What is it for? Oh, sorry. But yeah, going back to the older woman thing, love is not enough, feelings are not enough, you have to have practical considerations. If I could somehow, so let's say I fall for someone who's older than me, if I could somehow if she could somehow guarantee that she could give me a family, a large one, hey man, let's do it. Let's do it. I do think women tend to age more gracefully than men, right? Is that true? I don't know. Because I also don't want I don't want, as we age, I don't want myself to still be looking young and you're out here. You have to be careful how you say these things. You end up offending people and then yelling at you in the comments. But yeah, anyway, I'm not inherently opposed to those dynamics in which the woman is older, but there's so many practical considerations you have to make. It's not a simple matter. Some people don't want children, which is its own conversation, but I think maybe in that context, if both parties don't want kids, maybe it makes more sense. But yeah, when children are for me, children are the crux of the matter, really and truly. I know a couple in their 30s, they had one child. They just had a child, and they're like, this might be it. We might not have another one after this. I'm not trying to be like that. I want a sizable family. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Can I keep this? Thank you. Thanks for watching the video, and I'd like to pray that you do so if I think this individual watching so now thank you for making all and God and walk towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful people in their life. I love them, take care of them, bring them to the best out of them. Thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love and marriage and sustaining their love and marriage and making you very, very, very happy. Thank you for blessing this person with spirit of gratitude so that you can give thanks for all the wonderful things in your life. By giving thanks and find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Let your prayers be found in this person. Let your God, let your will, let your love and be there for them. Good health, all life, and happiness with this person. Whatever the pure body mind, I pray. Jesus, I pray. Amen, amen, amen.